Aloha, everyone. Aloha, everyone. It is truly an honor and a privilege to stand with you today as the new president of the University of Hawaii, delivering my very first commencement address here on the beautiful campus of Maui. I'm pleased today, as the Chancellor said, that we have not only the graduates of UH Maui College, but also those earning degrees from UH Manoa and UH West Oahu here in Maui County. And it really does reflect the spirit of the UH system, reminding us that wherever you're earning your degree, we're all part of the same ohana. Now, this is a serious moment, and I'm glad that everyone's being quiet and listening. It's important. We need to honor your achievements and your resilience and your boundless opportunities. But I know what you really want to do right now, and that is scream for these people who are sitting here in the front. So will you please take a minute to cheer on your graduates today? That was excellent. We'll keep working on it. You'll have more chances. So I had the privilege of visiting this campus and every campus earlier this year and had a chance to meet with students and faculty and staff and learned about the challenges and the successes that we have around the islands. And I was so impressed and moved by the passion of this community and the commitment to doing better for our people. And you and I, graduates, class of 2025, we're linked today in an interesting and important way. We both are beginning. In your case, you're really beginning. In my case, I'm not too far in to something that's really new. For you, it's life after graduation, maybe a new job, maybe relocation, certainly a time of change. For me, I began as president 5.5 months ago. That required me to move away from my family, to start a challenging new job, to meet lots of new people, and something I didn't expect, to be in the news a lot. Yeah, you can laugh about that. People often ask me, how do you handle that? That's a lot. That's a lot of change all at once. And I thought that maybe the answer that I've been giving and the conversations that I've been having would be useful to you tonight as you face these new chapters in your own journeys. First, my advice to you, and it is the most important piece, be your authentic self. Every day we see a barrage of information that tries to tell us who we should be, how we should act, what success looks like, and everything in between. I'm guessing that you all in the front rows are getting a lot of advice right now. And I know this is going to surprise everybody, but I get a lot of advice too as president. You should see my email. I have a new feeling of camaraderie, as it turns out, with referees at sporting events. For both of us, everyone is convinced that they can do our jobs better and they know more than we do. And I suspect some of you are feeling that way too. While that kind of feedback is meant well and certainly is expected for a job like mine, we now have an unprecedented number of our young people reporting mental health challenges. Through social media and algorithms, we've created a false narrative in which the perfect lives that we see reflected in social media do not match the challenges, the struggles, and the hardships that most of us experience every day. We're told repeatedly, if only you could be like those people that you see and that you follow, you would be successful too. The temptation to conform, to subdue who you are, to fit into the place that you are, and to keep the peace above all else can be very intense. And in the days ahead, you will undoubtedly be pressured to fit into molds that were never meant for you. I urge you to resist that temptation because the truth is authenticity is your superpower. It's the courage to stand in your truth, to express who you really are, and to bring your unique perspective and voice into every room that you enter. For example, you heard my history up there, and I remember very clearly early in my career sitting where you sit and thinking that I had to downplay my role as a mother in order to be a successful professional, that isn't what you talked about and that isn't what you said that you cared about in order to be taken seriously. 4 children later, I am here to tell you that the very most valuable skills that I ever learned and possess, I learned from my children. Patience, compassion, the value of clear communication, and I think all the parents in the room can understand project management. The bottom line is the world needs you. They don't need a version of you that conforms to expectations or plays it safe in a world to avoid judgment, but your real, vibrant, and unapologetic self. When you do that, I can tell you, you will cultivate connections that are genuine and create a lifetime that reflects your values and your dreams. I'll tell you, in my campus tours, I recently met one Native Hawaiian student who told me she doubted that she belonged in college. She was a first-generation student until she saw one of her professors wearing slippers, something that she thought a college student couldn't do and be appropriate. Well, that day, because somebody else was being their authentic self, she learned differently, and I'm pleased to report that she's graduating this week. The need for authenticity has never been more pressing than at this moment, when simply being who you are can feel like an act of defiance in a world that is polarized and, let's face it, sometimes mean-spirited. Play the lead in your own story, in your own way, and chart your own path forward. People will feel that, and they will respond to you. Lesson 2, embrace change and failure as part of the journey. It seems like so much of our time, and I bet some of you are feeling worry about failing maybe, feeling anxiety that you'll fall short of the expectations that you have for yourself today or that others have for you, or that somehow you won't measure up to what you want. Those feelings are particularly acute right now, right? In moments of change when we feel like things are happening beyond our control. I'm here to tell you that every great success story is woven with threads of failure, including the one that you just heard, that's mine. Sometimes the very best opportunities that you find will come when you literally have no idea what's coming next and when you step off that path of certainty. So many of us feel pressure to avoid mistakes and strive for perfection, to shield ourselves from failure by staying safe and resisting change. My experience is different. Failure has been the most powerful teacher I've ever had, and my regrets wholeheartedly stem from the opportunities I haven't taken, as opposed to when I failed those that I attempted. So let's do a quick experiment here, class of 2025. How many of you, at some point in your academic journey, worried that you would fail an exam, a course, or a test? If that sounds like you, I'd like you to stand up. We'll keep going. How many of you at some point, it looks like all of you are standing, but I'm going to keep going. How many of you at some point wondered whether going to college was even the right choice for you and whether you were good enough to be here? Stay standing. I see hands. Now, how many of you that are standing there failed to get your degree or certificate? Sit down. No, you're getting it today. Look around at each other. Every single one of you wondered at one point or another if you were good enough. And every single one of you was. You can sit down now and give yourselves a round of applause. I want you to keep that picture in your mind. What if you had let fear stop you from the beginning? What if you let it stop you from persisting? You wouldn't be here today. You are good enough. I will tell you that I remember quite clearly the summer between my first and second year of law school when I desperately wanted to work in a law firm and was told over and over again, there's just no way. They don't hire people out of their first year of law school, and they don't hire people who came from a place like Michigan State. Even though I was at Harvard, I was not considered from Harvard if I didn't go to undergrad. So I did what I expect many of you will do, except that I did it in the time before there was the internet or email. I mailed out 100 letters, true story, 100 letters around the country trying to get a job as a law clerk for the summer. I took every one of those rejection notes, and I'd like to point out it was 99, and taped it to my wall, literally wallpaper, right? until the one came in that said yes. Because that's all you need, is one door to open for you to walk through and get to that next opportunity. I was so incredibly grateful, and I guarantee that will happen for all of you today. It may not happen tomorrow, but if you keep going, it will. So embrace change and failure with open arms. Welcome it as a sign that you are daring greatly and expanding beyond your comfort zone. Failure will teach you resilience and grit. It will sharpen your focus, and it will deepen your understanding of the world. When you fall, get back up. When something doesn't work, try again. Each setback is a stepping stone, a moment of growth that will lead you somewhere that may be even better than you thought. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be able to stand here in front of you as the president of a university. And so I'm telling you that when you try, sometimes your life can exceed even what you think is possible if you try. Finally, my final piece of advice to you, and it may be my favorite one: never delay joy. As you embark on your careers, your projects, your ambitions, your aspirations, many of you will find yourself with responsibilities and burdens and things that you work hard for, and that's good. Go after it. But if you are like most of us, and I include myself in this, you will often say to yourself, I'll be happy as soon as I get through this moment. How many of you said, I'm going to be happy as soon as I finish my finals this semester? Anybody? I'll get some rest as soon as I finish finals this semester, right? I urge you to reject the notion that joy must wait. Joy is not a reward at the end of the journey. It is the fuel that will sustain you on the way. The truth is, nobody is promised tomorrow. I learned that lesson early when I was 40, and my first husband was 40 when he passed away unexpectedly of a heart attack. And I had 2 small children who were 9 and 11. While I would not wish that lesson on my worst enemy, it was incredibly powerful in reminding me that every day that you have is a gift, and that happiness should always be part of your plan. Find joy in the simple everyday moments: a sunrise over Haleakala, the laughter of a loved one, the satisfaction of learning something new, the juicy sweetness of an orange that you picked off the tree. Take a moment and celebrate those small wins and appreciate the incredible, amazing beauty that is everywhere around us. Joy and connection is what makes life worthwhile, and when you prioritize that joy, you will inspire others to do the same, creating ripples of positivity in a world that right now really needs it, and hopefully will become more peaceful. I leave you with my favorite quote in this regard: life is not waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain. So dance, and do it joyfully. Class of 2025, you are the dreamers, the doers, and the leaders of tomorrow. This world needs you desperately. As you step forward, remember to be unapologetically, authentically you, to embrace change and failure, and to cherish joy in every season and every moment of your life. You have the power to shape your own future, and not just for yourselves, but for your communities and your families and generations to come. We can't wait to see what you will do, and the University of Hawaii will be cheering you along every step of the way. Mahalo.